And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1253. Today is Thursday, November 21st, 2024, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And today's top stories: Trump team weighs creating first ever White House crypto roll. Bloomberg News reports U.S. Bitcoin reserve during Trump presidency could pump Bitcoin to $1 million. FTX co-founder Gary Wang sentenced to time served, and Coinbase scammer claims to earn 5 figures a week targeting crypto CEOs. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a peek at the road to 100K. It is happening, people. We about to hit 100K for honestly, you might hit a Saturday or Sunday at this rate in the way because the institutions want it to happen. We could face a dip right afterwards because they want it to happen a little bit too much. So we'll see what happens with that. But the road to 100K is happening. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. Bitcoin's coming in. It was just at 97,000 all-time high, but it's at 96.7 now. It's already dipped a little bit, as you can see, but it's up 2.53%. Ethereum at $3,328, up 7.22%. Ripple at $1.12. What? Down 0.99%, up 57.4% on the week. That is absolutely crazy. Number 9, Cardano at 78 cents, also up 43% on the week, down 4.52%. Tron 19 cents, up 0.54% on the day. Fear and Greed is now at 87, up 3 from the other day. Bitcoin dominance at a 59.69%. Ethereum dominance at a 12.51%. And those are your prices on the day. Looking good all in the world of crypto. Again, the road to 100K is official. Is happening here. It can honestly happen today, people. I mean, again, we're talking about what a 5% swing at this point for us to really get there. So looking good on that front. Prices are looking amazing. I honestly was going to take today off because the news cycle was slow. But this top story is probably the biggest story out there. But first, let me get some shout outs. BK Crypto, Humney, Patrick Water, what up, Doe? Kibalan, Shira, yes, road to 100K. Humney, what up, Doe? Wisdom Bars, Alapio, hello, Bitcoin Madam, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Top story of the day. I don't know if you all saw this, but this top story is why the price is pumping the way it did last night. I mean, this is the opposite of FUD right now, where you have fear, uncertainty, and doubt with all the bad news stories. Now you're only getting great news stories. It's funny how the market sentiment has changed throughout the years. But the top story of the day, probably going to be the top story, of the year until Trump actually gets into office, if this were to happen. And it also goes against what some of the people, some of the warriors, you guys were saying, watch him not do anything. He's been super active on the crypto front. He's repaying back the community. I mean, just to have the price where it's at, he's already repaid the community essentially. But Trump team weighs creating first ever White House crypto roll. Bloomberg News reports. That is right. President-elect Donald Trump's team is holding discussions with the digital asset industry about whether to create a new White House post solely dedicated to crypto policy, Bloomberg News reported on Wednesday. The team is vetting candidates for the role, the report said, citing people familiar with the transition efforts. The transition team did not immediately respond to Reuters' request for comment. Trump championed Bitcoin and the crypto industry, of course, to the run-up to his presidential election. He promised to fire Gary Gensler, the crypto skeptic of the SEC, on day one, and reportedly paid with Bitcoin for burgers he bought for his supporters at a New York bar. Oh, you know they ain't like that in New York. So it doesn't actually say it on this article, but if you were to actually go back to where you search for this article, you see that he's actually considered, here we go, for Fox Business, Trump eyes official crypto lead, or czar. They're calling it, might be a crypto czar. But this is going to be a big deal, people. I mean, like literally, this was the news cycle yesterday, him talking about this. If this were to happen, holy smokes. A few things. First and foremost, of course, it would just him even talking about it legitimizes it. Like, the industry is officially legitimate. To have a president-elect, a incumbent president, technically, I don't know if he's incumbent since you have to be from the last term or just in general, but I mean, this makes it official. Lord Smith, I'm with you. We don't need a czar. However, so we don't need a czar with no real power. We need someone with confirmation process. I would say this. I would disagree with that. We actually do need a crypto czar. Again, I think the first thing it's going to do is legitimize the industry, and then the second thing is going to do is kind of add some like a clearer path, a roadmap, right? We'll finally have somebody in government say no SEC, no FDIC, no FINRA. Like what you're doing is like wrong. You're not doing this to a bank, or you can't control the banking sector like this. So don't try to pull this in crypto. That's what I would hope to see from an actual czar. So I think this is a good news thing for the legitimacy of it, and then hopefully for the protection of the industry from other federal agencies. And yes, czars do have power. Lord said czars don't have power; they just talk. Talking, the tongue is the most powerful thing in the world. I mean, the talking is what starts and ends wars. So no, I think the czar will be super powerful. I think they would be able to get a lot done. If anything, even just talking will be better than what we have now, which is nothing, right? There's no one talking for crypto on a federal level to protect it. So even if they were just talking, they're just lobbyists, essentially, a glorified lobbyist. That would be a positive. Lori, man, you gotta be more positive, bro. You pushing back on a lot of crypto stuff now. What's going on, player? Hey, be a little bit more positive out here. With this news also brings about the second top story of the day, and that is the U.S. Bitcoin reserve during Trump presidency could pump Bitcoin to $1 million. $1 million. This is something I've been saying on the show for a while. Had some beliefs for years that Bitcoin would finally be a reserve currency. It looks like it is happening. And this is when we have said in the past, we think Bitcoin could reach $1 million. And the fact that they're actually writing about it says a lot. Now, let's be clear. It's actually not that it's not that much money when you think about the swing, right? 100K, where we're almost at right now, is going to be 10% of $1 million. 10K was 10% of 100K. And we saw how quick we cleared that hurdle. So for 100 to $1 million isn't improbable to see, especially as we have more people entering the market. Listen, if you haven't noticed, folks, no more you and Zay's people. There we go. Thank you, Lord. Where have you seen Zay at? Okay, where have you seen him? So no more, none of that. We're gonna stay in the right now, the present, and the future, and we're definitely gonna stay on doing great business, good business for all of the community out there. So. No, it's no more. Stop saying that, people. You ain't seen them for a reason. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You got to keep moving forward. But this is a great news story to see. The strategic Bitcoin reserve could set up Bitcoin's price for an over $1 million valuation this market cycle, according to Adam Back. Of course, Adam Back, a lot of people used to think he was Satoshi, old school cyberpunk coder, all that good stuff. Again, I do agree with this. The only part I would say I would disagree on is this cycle. Even if Bitcoin were to become a reserve currency, let's take a look at this. The bipartisan support suggests the bill could be accepted during the next 4 years. State level momentum is building, with initiatives such as Pennsylvania's Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Act serving as a model for broader adoption. Plotnikovo said at the federal level, the U.S. government's existing Bitcoin holdings, valued at $18 to $19 billion, provide a strong foundation for implementing the reserve. Here's my thing. To see, again, while it's not that big of a swing, to see Bitcoin go from 100K to $1 million, all because the United States decided to make a reserve currency, like that type of change and aggressiveness we've never seen in this country, really, I would say. I mean, or I wouldn't say never. I would say we really haven't seen that type of change and aggressiveness since probably you gave minority segments, populations the right to vote, right? Like, when was the last time something this big happened in the government? Maybe 2008, but even then, I mean, the economic crisis, maybe, but they only were really bailing out banks. I'm talking about something that's going to affect the entire planet. This is going to be huge. If the United States says, you know what, we're off gold and we're going to Bitcoin, this shift has only happened a few times in history. I'm talking and I talked about this in the masterclass before, going from seashells to what we have now when it comes to dollars and credit cards and all that good stuff, or going from dollars to credit cards, or dollars to gold to dollars, gold to dollars to credit cards to Bitcoin. Now it's like these have been some like crazy shifts that have happened in history to say we're not going to trade seashells anymore. I have rubies and gold and silver, and we're not going to do that anymore. Now I have dollars that represent it, and not going to do that anymore. Now we have debit and credit cards. And now we're not going to do that. We're going full digital, full Bitcoin, people. This is going to be a shift like we've never seen before. It is going, Jake, I was thinking about COVID, but still no, because like I did think about COVID when I said, I was like, technically COVID was a global shift and everything. But the only reason why I said no is because it kind of came and went. And then also everyone wasn't in agreement, even in the United States, right? California, I was locked down here until like 2023 at the beginning. Whereas like Florida, the lockdowns ended in 2021. So I almost said COVID, but not really, only because it came and went. I think this global shift is going to come and stay and change the planet. It will never like not change the planet. So this is crazy. I love to see though. $1 million Bitcoin is possible. Just inform you, said Max Payne for degenerates is Bitcoin dominance going over 70%. You already know it. Janine Hayes, actually, I did think about that. The only problem is I think they're already in talks. So it's probably going to be some backhand deal who is Elon Musk cool with, who is a couple other people on the panel cool with, who can pump the right projects. I think that would probably be the crypto or Bitcoin czar. And also, that's the other thing. I'm not sure if they're going to do a Bitcoin czar or a crypto czar. Of course, we know that's a big difference. A Bitcoin czar would be majority for Bitcoin, growing the Bitcoin blockchain and the technology, whereas a crypto czar is kind of the writing is on the wall. We're just here for the money, even with the government. So I did think about it. If I see an open post go out, I would definitely try to jump on that job or at least consult for it, because I think that would be pretty cool. All right, what else? It's funny you said that. Okay, Bashir, what's going on? Bashir said, "Great day to us all." I read it wrong as I was scrolling. I thought you said great day for us all to sell or whatever, because I was seeing headlines and stories where it's like we might see a dip in retracement after 100K, because a lot of people will want to sell. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. In other news, ducking penalties and continuing to do crime, we're going to be talking about FTX co-founder Gary Wang, who was sentenced to time served. That's right, people. If you and your crony friends steal $8 billion, that's right. I said $8 billion with a B. If you steal $8 billion, as long as you can give some back to some regulators and politicians and some campaigns, you're good to go with time served. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Crime doesn't stand a chance in this white collar world we're living in. Wang was the final FTX executive awaiting sentencing over the 2022 exchange collapse and subsequent fraud charges. It looks like he was sentenced to time served plus forfeiture of assets in the U.S. District Court in New York on November 20th, making him the fifth and final executive sentenced over the exchange's 2022 collapse. And again, since Charlie Shrem went to jail, Ross Ulbricht, and so on and so forth, Tornado Cash, and now looking at these FTX execs, some of these other ICO execs or project founders who have went through the system. The thing I've noticed throughout the years and learned is that as long as you don't buck and fight back, right? They don't want you to fight back. And as long as you pay them, you won't be sentenced to prison time. If you do any type of fighting back, like, hey, guys, what I did wasn't illegal or immoral. Why are you mad? If you do that, or if you decide not to pay them or do anything, then they're going to try to send you up the river. But if you just play their game, you pay them off, and you play the dirty, corrupt, immoral game, you're good to go. Wang pleaded guilty to fraud charges in December 2022, alongside former Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison for her part in the scheme, in which she admitted to conspiring with FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried to steal $8 billion. Ellison, of course, received a 2-year sentence, and he is receiving time served. Again, wow. That's all I can say. It's just wow. What a favorable judge. Even in New York, too. That's crazy. This is interesting to me. You can see here, Sam Bankman-Fried got 25 years. Of course, he'll probably do 15 of that, if that. Former FTX Digital Markets co-CEO Ryan Salami got 7.5 years. Same. Probably do about 4, if that. Wang's got time served and 3 years probation. Wow. And forfeiture of illicitly gained assets. So yeah, you just got to give up some Lambos and a couple of houses. I mean, hey, what can I say? As I did the one show, in this space is unfortunate to say, but crime does pay. Crime legitimately pays in this space. It's unfortunate to see. But I think hopefully, again, with all eyes being on crypto, some of this will change. It'll be interesting to see how the Trump administration handles the scammers, the schemers, and all the people in the industry that's putting this negative light on it. So it will be very interesting to see. Yes, keep the wolves and parasites away. That's what we need to do. Do I think Tornado Cash? So yes, if not Tornado Cash themselves, the code which creates the website, essentially all the stuff on the back end that says this is how you build the website. A lot of that is what's considered open source, which means anyone can use it and see it. So even you, if Alkeyblaw were to say, let me go to Tornado Cash and just copy some code and create Tornado Cash too, you can essentially do that. Again, not all of it is open source from what I've been told. I know a lot of it is from different the privacy coins and mixers. A lot of that code is open source. So the ability to just cut, copy, and paste Tornado Cash and recreate it is already there. The government just isn't intelligent enough to understand that, or they are intelligent enough to understand that, which is why they're penalizing and like overreaching their power when it comes to the founder. For those who don't know, a guy who made Tornado Cash is a website that just mixes Bitcoin, so you don't know whose is who. The United States arrested that guy, threw him in prison, and they're still aggressively going after him and that team, all because they made a way to mix up Bitcoin. You don't know whose Bitcoin is whose. The government don't like that. You see, making our job harder. We're going to throw you in prison, and we're going to say you're doing some type of money laundering or something, when in reality it's literally just a website. So again, this is what I mean by pick and choose. One guy makes a website where he essentially does not get paid or make money, but it allows the community to go in and mix their Bitcoin. Another group of people, guys and gals, essentially creates a sex cult, steals $8 billion from all the industry, and then the majority of them get off with either time served or the lightest sentences you have ever seen. That's absolutely incredible. $6 billion of damages on one end, no punishments or penalties. Other side, a website for everyone to use that just mixes Bitcoin, and they're getting a worse prison sentence. That is absolutely hilarious and terrifying in the same sentence. So for everyone who says, you know, American greatness and all this, this is the critiques of it too, where it's just like, yeah, but we're definitely doing some dirty things too. Like we're doing some unfair and some dirty things. So sucks to see, but it is definitely happening in this space. Yes, that's what I really want to talk about when it came to the crypto czar. Thank you, Humney. The jobs that will be opening up for the people who actually know the technology will be lovely people. Crypto czar, an official crypto this and that, will open up more crypto task force, crypto this, crypto that. Listen, we're about to eat good. Get in when you fit in, figure out how your business can help or what you can do. At this point, a lot of you all who have watched this channel are eligible and knowledgeable enough to apply for some of these jobs. So be on the lookout. Satoshi Sim says, sounds like a snitch to me. That story actually covered it. So yes, I didn't cover it, but this guy, Gary Wang, one of the reasons why his sentence was cut so short is because he was a cooperative witness, aka a snitch. And yeah, so Judge Kaplan also pointed to Wang's cooperation as a reason for his relatively light sentence. According to a report from the New York Times, Kaplan told the courtroom that he'd never seen anything quite like what happened here, adding that Wang was entitled to a lot of credit after he pleaded guilty to committing and committed to assisting authorities. I love the judge. Shout out to Judge Kaplan for saying, hey, I've never seen anything like this court case. Like, that's how bad it is. And because it's so bad and I've never seen anything like it, I'm not going to sentence anyone heavily. Hilarious. The judge said, I've never seen anything like this, and I'm going to make sure everyone walks away for the most part. Absolutely hilarious. Wang, though, just like a snitch sounds, was sounding like the weak one he was. Wang was remorseful in court, saying, I took the easy path, the cowardly path. Instead of doing the right thing, I would spend the rest of my life trying to make amends. No, like he's still doing it. He took the easy, cowardly path to scam people, and now he's taking the easy, cowardly path of tattletelling instead of saying, hey, I was a part of this too, and I need to sit my ass in prison right next to these other folks. Instead, he continued to be a coward. He continued to take the easy path and to just, hey, duck and dodge all consequences. So not a fan of this guy, and these are the people in this space who, for some reason, keep getting capital, keep getting money, keep getting jobs, projects. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Wang's name pop up as a crypto czar is what I'm telling you, okay? So we see this a lot. It is what it is. But I don't know. This is, to me, this is one of the reasons why, you know, when people say the whole snitching thing is hilarious, how they only look at, like, criminal. Well, most of it is criminal, but I would say, like, street elements. Like I haven't been in no organization for the most part who likes snitches, right? Now I would say the military for the most part, out of all the organizations I've been around, I would say they appreciate it more because in the military, oh, it's dog eat dog. If you're doing something wrong, somebody, hey, you better fix it or they're gonna tell you so quick to get you up out of here because the competition is real when it comes to jobs and stuff. Like people will tell on you in the military with a straight face. Like, so what? Do the right thing. And they're right. Do the right thing. You don't have to get worried on being told on. But again, you see it with police, that blue line where it's like they're not going to tell on each other. They're not going to snitch. You see it in criminals. But my point is that there's like really no organization or place where they like people, telling everybody's business, which you were a part of. So Gary Wang, he did what he had to do to get back home to his family, it looks like. But yes, that is how it was done. And again, I disagree with it because in many other court cases, even if you were to assist or collaborate with law enforcement or snitch, whatever you want to call it, you still would get some time. And most other trials, be like, yeah, thanks for helping. Here go your 10 or 20 years too. You think you special because you helped us? We don't care about that. You're gonna get these years. So it's crazy to see that because they help. I know the real reason is. I know what's really going on. Wang, Ellison, all of them was like, look, you can keep the tapes. You can keep the sex tapes you found in the video cameras of the house as long as you let us go. Then the freak judges and the rest of them 6ix9ine gods was like, this is enough for us. No, who knows how they're able to do this? Their legal team has to be amazing because they are definitely getting in and getting out. Let's see. Just Inform You said, I once said if you watch this show daily, you can get a job in crypto, and it's so true. For real, for real. If you watch this daily and you don't know what you're talking about, you gotta know. D Tizzy, bringing on D Tizzy. Say I'm coming with the smoke tomorrow. FBF is tomorrow. F Bitcoin Friday. Please pull up and call in. Listen, if there's ever a time to shield coins, is this week, so feel free. Janine says King for chair of Department of American Bitcoin Strategy. Bitcoin incoming. I love it. All right, last but not least, this story mirrors the one I was talking about yesterday with the teenager. Essentially saying, hey, I don't care no more. I'm scamming people live. All right. So one story I'm not covering, it was another operation in the United States that just bagged a bunch of scammers. It was 5 people who got arrested the last couple of days. The ages range from 20 to 25. I think it was like a 20, 22, 23, 25, and possibly like a 24-year-old, another 22-year-old. I think 4 of them in the US and 1 of them was based out of London. But I told y'all the other day, these YNs then lost their mind. And the last name of these YNs are not inner city last names of what you expect. It's foreign names, is wholesome American names, is all this good stuff. And they out here scheming and scamming. And it looks like these Coinbase scammers are the same. And what's crazy about this is the way they're bragging. They're all braggadocious. Am I saying that right? Braggadocious. Coinbase scammer claims to earn 5 figures a week targeting crypto CEOs. Like what? This is crazy to be coming out like that. Stan, thanks for the tip. Said, would this channel be interested in joining Trump's crypto administration? Thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't even say Trump's crypto administration. And that's what I mean by me saying I'm bipartisan. They're both the same to me. I'll be interested in any, whether it's Biden, Kamala, or Trump. If they're offering a crypto position or crypto whatever, yes, we would be interested because again, really quick, learned this in the military too. This one is like the person doesn't matter, the position matters. So it's not President Trump specific or President Kamala Harris or President Biden who you be working for and with. It will be the American president. You understand? So the position to me matters more than the person. So working with the American government, with Uncle Sam, with a president or with a congressman or woman, whatever, that's more important than the specifics of who that person would be. And that's important to differentiate because that's when it's about giving respect to the position, not the person. Where even if you don't like the person, you disagree with what they're doing, as long as you're not dying, technically is like, and even really if you are dying too, if you're talking military, it's unfortunate, but it's like, that's who in charge. That's what we signed up for. That's who you're going to shut up and follow. So I give respect to the position, not to the person. So yeah, I would be interested. All right. Going back to this Coinbase scammer, they said we're hitting CEOs, CFOs, software engineers, That's right. A brazen scammer told Casa CEO Nick Newman, "We don't call poor people." So that's right, folks. If you don't have that much money to begin with, you are good to go from this group of scammers right here. We are safe. They said we only want them big ballers. That's right. You popping balls? Oh, you got money? You rich? Give me that shit. Give me that. Crypto phishing scammers are apparently earning five-figure weekly incomes by impersonating Coinbase support and using leaked data to target high-ranking crypto executives and software engineers. Now, off the top of my head, this is pretty simple to do. For those in the know, there are a lot of crypto. What are these things called? Like email lists, basically. There's a ton of email lists and all this other stuff that's been on the dark web of people who are in crypto and they've been selling these things and blah blah blah. Right? They sell them for thousands of dollars. I've been guilty of buying one for thousands of dollars only because I was using it as a list to send out crypto stuff, right? Like, hey, you're into crypto, check out this channel, check out whatever. So I'm known about different types of lists, whatever. So all you really need to do is get your hands on one of these lists, buy one of these lists, especially if you buy like, all right, these are only the executives in the crypto industry. You buy a list like that, and then yeah, you start trying to hack into each one by one, backwards. Who got the 123 ABC password? Or just send them an email. Like I've seen these scammers fish attack, like, hey, you need to click this link to sign on here, get their information, blah, blah, blah. So there's a ton of ways to go about doing it. I can see it actually being done, especially if they're intentional and trying. So this really does suck. It's happening this way. So looking at this, let's see. Nick Newman, CEO and co-founder of Bitcoin self-custody solutions provider Casa, said he was recently called. So yeah, so that looks like we're happening. They're just getting the email. They're figuring out the phone number. He was recently called by a Coinbase support scammer and found out more than expected as he decided to turn the tables on him and ask him about being a scammer. I do this a lot. It's pretty funny, actually. We make a minimum of five figures a week. We hit 35K 2 days ago. We do it for a reason. There is money to be made in it, responded to the scammer when asked how much they made. Oh, I already know what conversation Newman have. I've had this conversation for scammers when I got hacked years ago. I'm like, look, man, how much, what does it take to come work for me? Like as far as like cybersecurity and keeping this thing safe, if you know this much. So I already know he's probably trying to level him. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, I am, right? Like, I can just give you the money. You can come work over here. So this is probably the conversation. I've had this conversation. The scammer probably was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm making enough getting off on you and your boys. Like, there's no way to stop. So that's more than likely. And this is what I mean by when I analyze this market, I'm not analyzing from, oh, I think. I'm like, no. This has happened to me. I understand what happened next, and I understand how this process went. I already know I've had a conversation with him too, people. So I understand how it go. It's like fucking mythical creatures, like just trying to catch one of these some bitches. I hope I can catch. Listen, oh man, that would be the greatest joy to me to catch a scammer. Oh man, just catch him with my bare hands. That's all I want to do. All right. Newman posted the conversation in the video on X on November 20th, in which a scammer orchestrated the attack by stating that a password change request had been canceled and a notification had been sent. The notification contained a malicious link, which prompted Newman to ask the scammer what types of people fell for the phishing attacks. What I tell you, people, like, again, I literally did not read this story today. I didn't read the story as I normally do. I read the headline, and you have my live reaction right now. I already knew they used a phishing attack. I know, and this is the worst part about being a good human. I could do all this. I fully understand how to scam and hack in this space. I know how to code. I know how to do this. I have no inclination to want to do it. And it's like upsets me that so many people are actually doing it. They're taking these shortcuts and it's like, we're just gonna scam and get off. Hey, I want to be clear. If you're a scammer, to me, that's the same as being a gangster. Whatever comes with being a gangster, I hope comes with being a scammer. I hope you get everything you deserve. Okay. This is crazy that this is still working. And what's even crazier is that it's working on crypto CEOs, on the executive team, the C-suite. To me, this once again highlights how much they don't know about the space. You should not be a CEO, a CFO, anyone in the C-suite getting hacked in 2024 in crypto. Like, wow. Like, shout out to Casa, Newman. He's been around, and he's clearly been around enough to see a phishing scam the same way I can notice and be like, all right, this is fake. But the other ones who don't see it, that is ringing alarms. People, the big retracement, the big hack or scam, the big bubble pop that's going to happen next will be because we went into this too fast. If the government says, yeah, Bitcoin is going to be a reserve currency, all those people, if he hires the wrong crypto czar, that crypto czar in that whole department, the federal government, clearly all these CEOs of all these different private companies, they are going to be the ones who cause the bubble because they're not knowledgeable enough about the technology, right? They're going to go in and say, hey, why can't we do a Dogecoin ETF? And it's like, because like 3 people own 75% of the wallets, but they're not looking at the tech side. They're just like money, 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 money. And that is what's going to actually cause this market to dip. There's going to be somebody or a group of them or something to go so wrong that we're going to see a 220K Bitcoin go all the way down to 45K or 60, all because a bunch of idiots were in positions of power. That is being clear here. You like these scammers are coming out saying we only, like, for one, if you're in the C-suite and you're using Coinbase, like, why are you using Coinbase instead of establishing your own everything? As a person, like the size of some of these companies and the money they have, they shouldn't be using any third party. They should literally build out their own Coinbase, build out their own liquidity pools, build out, like, you can do this stuff in the space. So again, the fact that you're a CEO, CFO, whatever, working for some of these different projects and companies that are worth millions of dollars, and you're still working and using Coinbase and you're still getting hit by phishing attacks. Oh man, this industry is in some trouble right now. The wrong people are in power. The people from other professions came over with their money. They paid their way to the top. Elon Musk, I'm looking at you, like literally paid their way to the top. And now they're at the top. Now they're saying Doge. Now we're going to do Dogecoin. It's like, all right, whatever happens is going to happen with this. I'm telling you, it will not turn out good. It's going to end with a crazy retracement. So again, going back to this Coinbase scammer, they said, you will be surprised. It's people like you. You're a CEO at Casa. We're hitting CEO, CFO, software engineers. He said before adding, we don't call poor people. The data we have is from a database where the minimum you have to have is $50,000. Again, I know how this works. You're talking to somebody who knows intricately how this works. The email list they bought, off the top of my head, probably cost $10,000 to $12,000, or excuse me, $10,000 to $15,000 at a minimum. Probably, you could probably get it off like probably $10,000, $15,000. If somebody comes to me with an email list that I can verify these are all CEOs, usually they give you a sample list to where you can kind of go do your own homework and verify what you want to verify. And then once you verify it, you can buy the entire list. Now, a lot of the emails are like some BS. People like me, they got our main email on a lot of these lists, and it's like, it's going to go to junk mail already. I already know it's getting fished and whatever. But again, all it takes, if you think of it this way, if you have an email list you buy for 10 to 15K, they say all the accounts on here are supposed to be minimum 50K accounts or whatever. If you're a hacker or even an actual real business person, if you get 3 to 5 of those people, that will make up for the entire amount of the list you bought. So whatever you're busy, think of it from a hacker or scammer. If they scam 1 or 2 people on that list, and that list only costs 10 to 15K, it could have went up. Let's say the list costs 25K. Let's say the list costs $25,000. If you get 2 or 3 people on that list, you will make your $25,000 back. On the flip side, if you're not trying to scam, you're just trying to do good business and you buy the same type of list. If you can turn 2 or 3 of those projects into clients, you'll get your $25,000 back. It's like, it's worth it. So, and that's if you get the good or the right list. So it's crazy to see the scammer actually explain it to what's going on. They're like giving away all their little dirty secrets. The scammer added that money or education isn't a determining factor, claiming that they get details of their high roller targets from Bitcoin financial services company Unchained Capital. There you go. We have the Unchained database, and we assume that if you're into crypto, you'll have a Coinbase account. So that's how we run it. I get this all the time. I get so many emails from Coinbase, quote unquote, saying reset your password and this and that. I haven't used Coinbase literally since 2016, and I still get emails because they're right. What the scammers do is they say, if you're in crypto, we're going to assume you're on Coinbase. We're going to assume you're on Binance. We're going to assume you've done some type of DeFi trade or something like this. They're just fishing and fishing and fishing. And all it takes is to click that link once. I can't talk. Click that link once, and it's all said and done with. But again, I just want to highlight how new and novel this industry still is in. You got scammers going after CEOs and CFOs. I just laughed. Let me finish this story real quick. I didn't read this story, so I'm just scrolling down in the background, make sure I'm not leaving nothing. And I just saw something funny, so I want to say it. Um, they have used Tornado Cash to launder stolen crypto. I just saw the Tornado Cash, so we had to talk about, since they're not based in the United States, and sometimes they exchange it for privacy coin Monero. Quote, after you hold it in an XMR Monero for a couple of days, that bitch is gone. You're not seeing the funds again. Man, like they are so brazen these days. They're doing quotables. The scammers are doing quotables. Like that even further goes to show how much this market don't know what's going on, because now you got scammers holding their nuts on us. Why do you have scammers coming out publicly? They're not even scared anymore, people. Like, do you understand where we're at right now? The scammers are not even scared anymore. And why? Because Judge Kaplan does things like time served for criminals in this space. They give Caroline Ellison 2 years for having a sex cult and stealing $6 billion, right? 2 years. No, never mind like the HR things that are going on in this business that they could have gave them 10 or 15 years for, just alone the HR part of it. Like, wait, this person works for you and you having sex with them? Like just that alone. But whatever. This is why the scammers aren't scared. These judges are not sentencing people with money anymore. So I feel them. I would be just as brazen if I was a 19-year-old, 22-year-old scammer who still had a pocket full of money. Come get me. I got something for y'all. Hey, I got something for you, Uncle Sam. I'll be home by Monday, baby. Hey, mama. I'll be home by Monday. Okay. So it's crazy to see this happening. It's crazy to see scammers are just like out and open with it right now. But this is what happens. You don't punish people and they start feeling brazen. And now they're just going crazy. So again, you see the scammer saying, if you lose 30 to 40K in ETH or Bitcoin, who are you going to call? The crypto police, they said, adding that now they're trying to hit 100,000 per month for them scam. So they're right. You can't call the crypto police. You can't call the regular police. You can't call anyone, which is why I want to reiterate to all you scammers out there, I treat you like gangsters. And if I catch you, I'm going to treat you like a real gangster, okay? I'm happy you're a scammer. I'm happy you're living in this world where you feel super safe to scam other people money. I'm excited about this. It's going to bring great crypto stories in the future. And I cannot wait to meet the scammers of the crypto industry. Let me know. Let me let you know. I can't wait to give them a handshake. All right. Other than that, that is the show for the day. Let's see. When we update that YouTube header, brother, I'm going to get that done here in the next 24 to 48. Listen, believe it or not, I've been working around the clock. I'm actually about to leave this show today and go to a shoot. You got another little commercial today, people. I've been doing commercials every other day right now, trying to get as much Satoshis as I can to get that Bitcoin. Other than that, that is the show for the day. Make sure you smash that like and share, and I will see you all tomorrow with some more news. And of course, it's going to be FBF.